Hello everybody, welcome back. This is week 11 and for week 10, I only have one thing to say to sum up how I feel. Here it is. Anyway, here we go, end of the wrap-up, and then we will get into this next week. Alright, first off, the win of the week is going to be the Seahawks winning over the 49ers. Yes, there's a bunch of other good wins this past week, but man, that was the game of the week for me. Going in, it did not disappoint. Winning to overtime, Seahawks were able to get the victory in the end. That was a very good win for them over the last undefeated team in the NFL. Go ahead, 72 Dolphins. Go ahead and pop your champagne. Because there is no chance an undefeated team makes it to the end of the season with that win. Good job, Seahawks. You deserved it. You played really good ball, and it showed on the scoreboard. Seahawks win of the week. Alright, loss of the week is going to be, there were, there were a bunch of losses of the week this week, but we are going to give it to the Saints losing to the Falcons. That was absolutely unexpected. I thought it'd be kind of a shootout, because it usually is, but I thought, the Saints would absolutely roll them in the end, and that was not the case. In fact, it was the other way around. The Falcons absolutely dominated the Saints start to finish, and it wasn't even close. It was just an any given Sunday situation, and it was just not their given Sunday for the Saints. It was the Falcons' given Sunday, and they took it and they ran with it. Grady Jarrett up front did really well. The offense found its spark a little bit. Young Hoku, okay, had himself a good game too, and it was just an overall good day for the Falcons. Terrible day for the Saints, and with that loss, it's just complicating the NFC playoff race even more. My God, it's going to be a tight finish on the back third of the season. But anyway, loss of the week, Saints. Alright everybody, players of the week. First off, offensive player of the week is going to be Lamar Jackson. Yes, I get it, it was the Bengals and all that, but guess what? Guess what the Bengals are? Grown-ass men training and playing and doing all just as hard as maybe not just as hard, but they're training exactly like the Ravens do. They're putting in the effort and the work, and it's just not going their way this season. And yeah, they're grown-ass men. They're doing the same thing. They've done it for just as long as people on the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson just was absolutely a different beast on Sunday, just like he is most Sundays. His run was insane, that 47-yarder he had a perfect pass rating along with 288 total yards, 4 touchdowns, and it was just absolutely insane what he was able to do. He's the first player in NFL history within their first 16 games to get two perfect quarterback ratings in the same season. And he is the second quarterback ever to do that, ever. Ben Roethlisberger, I think, was the other one. And yeah, he's got multiple perfect passer rating games, which is a feat in itself. No matter who you're going up against, any week, that is good. That is great. That is beyond imaginable. And if you can wrap your head around it, the first one, the 158.3 perfect passer rating, came against the Dolphins, and you're like, yeah, the Dolphins, they were terrible when they faced it. Well, guess what they had? Minkah Fitzpatrick, Bryce McCain, Xavier Howard, Rashad Jones, they had a great Jerome Baker even roaming around up front. He's a good coverage linebacker. Whoever you do it against, no matter who you do it against, maybe, yeah, it's not as impressive as if you got a perfect pass rating against the Patriots last week, the 49ers a couple weeks from now. Yeah, it's not as impressive as that, but it's still an amazing feat. Props to him. He deserves Offensive Player of the Week this week for sure. Good job, Lamar Jackson. You deserve it, buddy. A couple honorable mentions. Christian Kirk, Derrick Henry, they both went off. Christian Kirk getting 3 touchdowns, Derrick Henry getting 2, like 188 yards. Absolutely crazy days on the offensive side this week. Alright, Defensive Player of the Week is going to be twofold yet again. I cannot believe there's too many multiples this season, but I can't get over how good these players are playing, just on the opposite sides of who I've picked. Anyway, Defensive Player of the Week, Jamaal Adams first off, 9 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, fumble recovery, and a touchdown where he just ripped the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands, just like he took the handoff and just went for a score. He blew up Saquon Barkley, absolutely absolutely just tore him up. Grabbed the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands and ran it in. It was very impressive, and the Jets won, and I'm betting you every dollar in my pocket, which isn't a lot right now, but if I had a lot, I'd still bet it, that the Jets are so glad that they kept Jamal Adams around, and he gets Defensive Player of the Week this week, along with Eric Harris. Okay, undrafted rookie Eric Harris comes in. He's doing all right. He's got a couple. Actually, he's got a pretty good couple of games under his belt, but Thursday night against the Chargers was different. Dude had 4 picks. One of them he dropped, okay? 3 of them he got. 1 was called back for an offsides penalty on Colin Farrell, I believe. So he only got 2 interceptions on the night, along with a touchdown and 3 tackles. But he had 4, dropped 1. 1 was called back, and he had ultimately 2 on the night. I'm gonna say technically he had 3, but officially he only had 2. Great night for him. He's been balling out. I said I didn't believe in their defensive back core, and I definitely don't believe in their pass rush. Their pass rush still leaves something to be desired, but that defensive back core with Eric Harris back there is doing really well. Carl Joseph too. He had the pick to end the night, and they just capitalized off a bad Phillip Rivers game. And there you go, Eric Harris, Jamal Adams, Defensive Players of the Week. Alright, lastly, Special Teams Player of the Week. Notice, you don't see them up on the screen yet. You don't see a name yet, but you see those stats? Those are really good stats, right? You see the stats? Now, I want you to I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Guess who it is. Alright, it is the AAF All-Star, the AAF Legend, the first person in AAF history. That's the Alliance of American Football. The first person to score any points in the Alliance of American Football. The AAF Legend, Young Ho Koo, everybody. Yes, he played for the Falcons this past week. He signed with them a week ago, and they released Matt Bryant. He was doing awful, but Young Ho Koo, only a week in, gets Special Teams Player of the Week. He had 4 for 4, 14 points, 2 out of 2 on the extra points. The guy balled out, and they won. The Falcons are undefeated with Young Ho Koo on their team. I'm just saying that right now. It can't get any more clear than that. If you want to win, you gotta be a Koo Young Ho, okay? Or a Young Ho Koo. Anyway, Young Ho Koo, Special Teams Player of the Week. Good job, buddy. Alright, everybody, are you ready for SVTV's Plays? Yep, there's Plays. It's probably going to be a weekly thing from here on out. Just 2 plays. Why not? Come on. The NFL this year has been giving us some crazy good plays, and you just got to respect it. Anyway, are you ready? Because I'm ready to show you SVTV's Plays of the Week.
5 receptions today. That's a season high for the rookie. As Jones has it taken away by Jamal Adams, and he is in for a Jets touchdown. He stripped the ball from Daniel Jones and scores. Middle of the field. Here's a 2nd down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage, and he's got a touchdown. He is Houdini. What a play!
Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed SVTV's Plays of the Week. Yes, that Jamal Adams play, out of his mind. I cannot believe it. Still cannot believe it. And then that Lamar Jackson play, that spin. Okay, one of the other reasons I did it, because it was not only a great play, one of the best plays I've seen all season, especially from Lamar Jackson. That call by Kevin Harlan, are you kidding me? He is an absolute national treasure. He is an absolute legend. He's one of the best announcers alive right now, and just enjoy him while you have him. Just enjoy Kevin Harlan while you have him. Because eventually, people like Pat Summeralls, the John Maddens, they move on and they retire and so on and so forth. I was lucky enough to witness both of them, and then even before my time, Howard Cosell and everybody like that. Just make sure you enjoy it while you have it. And even if you don't get to enjoy it while you have it, go on YouTube and stuff and just search their name, and I'm sure you'll find some, especially Kevin Harlan. He's got some really good ones, and multiple sports too, not just football. But that call was just, he's Houdini! Broke his ankles! I just love it. So, Kevin Harlan, I had to put it in there for that too. One of the best plays, one of the best calls of this season. There you go, SVTV's Plays of the Week. Alright, everybody. I'm just gonna observe a moment of silence. I don't feel I don't feel like explaining myself this week. Yeah, really quickly, 2 out of 13, which is a whopping 15%. I'm gonna give it a few seconds, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to next week. My thoughts exactly. Alright, week 11, Thursday night football, Steelers versus Browns. Oh, this should be an interesting one. Browns have a really good defense. They've been relying on it, as well as the run game to win games this season, the few games that they've won. The Steelers, on the other hand, their defense has been balling out. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Devin Bush, Bud Dupree, Cameron Hayward up front. The whole defense has just been outstanding. Even Steven Nelson had himself a game this past week, but Minkah Fitzpatrick is definitely the lifeblood of that Pittsburgh defense right now. That was just a great trade. And in this one, I mean, come on. Baker Mayfield against that defense, that's going to be interesting to see, and probably the way it's been going for other quarterbacks against the Steelers, probably not going to be a good day for Baker. And then it's going to be mostly on Nick Chubb. If he can do well, the Browns probably could do well, but is it well enough? And then Freddie Kitchens play calling, I do not foresee that being good, like it hasn't been all season. And I do think the Steelers win over the Browns 21-13. On the road. I think the Steelers defense can maintain and hold Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Hollywood Higgins, and the like. That offensive line outside of a few key players I don't think is good enough to hold back the Steelers defense. Bud Dupree may very easily have himself another good day. And then watch out for Minkah Fitzpatrick on the back end. However, on the flip side, I don't think Mason Rudolph gets a lot done either. James Conner is questionable. I'm not sure at this point whether he's back or not. If it's announced before I put it up, I'll put it on the screen right now whether James Conner is active or not. But that Browns defense has been doing really well, especially up front. Myles Garrett, Chris Smith, Sheldon Richardson, Ogunjobi, they've been doing really well. But I don't think it's well enough to stop the Steelers enough to win. I do think the Steelers win here. Alright, the Texans versus the Ravens. Ooh, the battle of the superhero quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, baby, versus Lamar Jackson. This is easily Batman versus Superman right here. This is crazy. You can call whichever one which. I'm going to go Deshaun Watson. Personally, I'm going to go Deshaun Watson is Superman and Batman is Lamar Jackson. I don't know. Just something about Baltimore screams Batman, and something about Houston kind of screams more Superman to me. But anyway, regardless of that, it's going to be a really good game. But it is going to be in Gotham. Sorry, Baltimore. And I think the Texans are going to have just a little bit of trouble stopping the Ravens on offense. The Ravens, Mark Ingram, fantastic. Lamar Jackson, of course, fantastic. They've got 3 really solid tight ends. The wideouts are doing really well. And that Texans defense is kind of struggling a little bit without some key players. And then on the flip side, I think Deshaun Watson can have himself a good day. But I do think the Ravens end up winning 31-23 over the Texans. I think the Ravens have a really great running game and a solid defense. The Texans have an off and on running game that's some weeks pretty damn good, some weeks and a defense that's struggling without key pieces. I do think the Ravens win at home here. Alright, next up, the Falcons versus the Panthers. The Falcons, okay, what the hell was that, Falcons? Who are you? Are you, seriously? You can beat one of the best teams in the league, one of the most complete teams in the league, hands down, but you can't win any other week, really? I guess except the Eagles, but you can't win any week, really? And then the Panthers, they were 1 inch, man. I love the play call. I even called it. I said, man, the Carolina Panthers need to do a halfback draw right here to Christian McCaffrey. They did it, but they were just 1 inch too short, and man, the Packers ended up winning, which was a good job by them. But anyway, here, the Panthers, I think, win I think they win. I don't think they lose twice in a row, and I don't think the Falcons, whether it be luck, whether it be they actually had the skill to do it and just haven't been playing that way outside of this past week, I don't think they get it twice in a row. I do think the Panthers win 28-16 over the Falcons. I mean, the Panthers are going to be at home. They know what they're doing. They've got Kyle Allen, who's above serviceable. He's above average quarterback. At least he's presented himself as such. Christian McCaffrey, all-star running back outside of Russell Wilson and maybe Lamar Jackson. They're pretty much neck and neck. MVP candidate, run CMC. This should be a game where the Panthers just dominate and win. Nothing really, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, no questions, but with the way this season has been, my God, who knows? There were all four 1-7 teams won this past week. Dolphins winning again. Are you kidding me? No, it's all good. It's all good. Whew. Calm down. No, Panthers win here. All right, next up, Cowboys versus Lions. The Cowboys coming in off a tough loss. The Lions doing the same. The Lions might not have Matt Stafford back, which will definitely not help them. And the Cowboys, I mean, they competed. Dak to Mark Cooper was outstanding, and then they decided to go to Zeke, which no one's happy about, and it didn't work out, and they lost the game. Here, the Cowboys are going to be on the road, but all that being said, I do think the Cowboys pull it out here in Detroit, 24-14 over the Lions. It's going to be a game where I think they lean heavily on Zeke and go to Dak when they need him, but I think the Lions, with Matt Stafford, without Matt Stafford, probably without, aren't going to do well. If Matt Stafford, it does happen again, he's not going to be 100%, I can guarantee it, but I think it's going to be Jeff Driscoll again this week. Either way it goes, I think the Cowboys win, they pull it out here. Alright, Jaguars versus Colts. The Colts coming off a, what the hell was that, Colts? To the Dolphins? Really, bud? Okay. Brian Hoyer, wow. Okay. They should be getting Jacoby Brissett back this week. The Jaguars are coming off a bye and returning to Nick Foles, which should be an interesting thing to see. I don't know what happened to the Colts this past week, but I don't think they let it happen again to the Jaguars. I do think the Colts win 26-20 in a kind of close one, a one-score game. I think Nick Foles might be a little bit rusty. He won't do as well as Gardner Minshew, I think, would if he were starting. Not saying that Nick Foles is worse than Gardner Minshew, not saying Gardner Minshew's better. I'm just saying with the amount of starts this season alone that Gardner Minshew has over Nick Foles coming off an injury, I think that Beowulf would have done better here statistically. But moving forward, I think Nick Foles is the better choice for this season. Now, come next season, you better believe they should start Beowulf, Gardner, Flint, Minshew the second. And maybe ship Nick Foles to the Bears or something. Someone who needs a quarterback. Real quick note on that. Nick Foles to the Bears, great decision. Should happen. He knows Matt Nagy from Kansas City. Matt Nagy's a Andy Reid understudy. Nick Foles is comfortable in that system. He knows it. And that's one of their main missing pieces is quarterback. Win, 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 win. And the Jaguars don't feel a thing shipping him off because they have a quarterback in the wings already waiting and raring to go. So anyway, all that being said, Colts win at home. Alright, Bills versus Dolphins. The Bills coming off a loss to the Browns. That this past week was just killer. Are you kidding me? Oh man. That was one of my locks of the week almost, along with the Saints. Wow. Come on. And then the Dolphins come. That was another lock of the week almost. I was like, the Colts got this. Come on. Even with Brian Hoyer. Come on. But nah, the Dolphins winning, the Bills losing. Can the Dolphins carry the momentum into this game? Can they carry the momentum the rest of the season? Go 9-7, get that 6th seed wild card, and win out and go to the Super Bowl? Hell yeah, the Dolphins can. Are you kidding me? Believe in the system and believe in Ryan Fitzmagic. Okay. No, that would be the craziest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life. And they better make make a movie of it if it does happen. But no, it won't happen. I don't even think they win here. I'm calling the Bills to win in a close, low-scoring game, 17-12 over the Dolphins. I just think it's a run-heavy game for the Bills. Defense plays well enough, maybe create some turnovers, sack fumbles, some picks. Who knows? I just think, I don't know why, but I think the Bills pull it out here. All right, next up, the Broncos versus the Vikings. The Broncos coming off a bye. The Vikings coming off a prime-time Kirk Cousins win against a above 500 team. All right. Proud of you, bud. Finally. The Broncos should be returning to Brandon Allen with possibly Drew Lock coming back and going to be the backup to Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen coming off his best game as a pro, being that it was his first game as a pro, and it was actually really good. 2 touchdowns, above 250 yards, or so, I'm not sure of the yardage, but 2 touchdowns. Managed the game really well, had some really good throws. The Vikings, on the other hand, they have a really good defense. Their offense with Cook is absolutely phenomenal. It's one thing that the Broncos don't do well is stop the run, and I think they have mega problems here, especially on the road. I'm not sure how Fangio is off a bye, being that it's his first one as a head coach, but here I don't think it starts well for him. I think the Vikings win at home 27-17 over the Broncos. I think Dalvin Cook has himself a good day. Kirk Cousins might have himself an alright day. I don't think it's great because the defensive backcourt of the Broncos is pretty solid. They've stepped their game up, and the pass rush is really good, but I think Dalvin Cook slices and dices them all day. And then on the flip side, the Minnesota Vikings defense can contain Phillip Lindsay and stop up Brandon Allen. The Vikings win at home here. All right, next up, the Saints versus the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers coming off a good win against the Cardinals, and the Saints coming off another game. Okay, against the Falcons. I don't. Okay, but the Saints, can they bounce back on the road here? Just go in Florida. Shouldn't be a huge deal. It's whether or not Jameis Winston wants to be a bad quarterback or a good quarterback this week, because he's bipolar. He's one of the most bipolar quarterbacks in the league. And this week, I don't think he does. I think the Saints win. Ooh. I can see the Buccaneers winning here, I'm not gonna lie, but I do think the Saints pull it out 30-21 over the Buccaneers. Please, Saints. Please. But anyway, no, I think Drew Brees has a bounce back game. Alvin Kamara can get it done. The Buccaneers pass defense is not that great. They even just released Vernon Hargreaves for not hustling. Like, what? They benched him last game and then just cut him. And then their run defense is middle of the pack. But I think Alvin Kamara can get it done. And then defensively, the Saints just didn't have themselves a game. They stopped a lot of drives to end in field goals. They bent but not broke, and then it wasn't a good day. It wasn't their day. And then this next Sunday, I think it'll be their day. Saints win. All right, the Jets versus the Redskins. Ew. That's bad when my first reaction is but yeah, I do think the Jets are coming off riding some momentum. They were supposed to be a pretty good team. I thought they were going to be a pretty good team at least. I mean, Le'Veon Bell, Sam Darnold in his second year, maybe he progresses, does really well. He ended up getting sick and not being good and regressing to the point where he saw ghosts. And then that defense has been banged up, injured, trade talks that really broke morale. Adam Gase is not a good coach, and I think he's breaking that locker room up. I think if they hired like a Mike McCarthy, Bruce Arians, someone like that, this season would have gone a lot better than it did. Outside of losing Sam Darnold for a few games, that probably would have been a rough stretch for any head coach, but it's not going well for him. Outside of here, I do think it goes well for him. I do think the Jets win over the Redskins 24-10 on the road. Dwayne Haskins isn't doing it for me. Should have sat the whole season. I think if he did, and then had another whole off season where he could learn, grow, know he's the starter, not just get thrown in as the starter, probably would have been better for him. The only touchdown he has on the season is a pick six. Jabril Peppers, I think. Like, he hasn't even thrown an offensive touchdown yet. And it shouldn't be a good day for the Redskins. I think the Jets will get it, but who knows this season? Who knows? Jets win. All right, the Cardinals versus the 49ers. Again? The Cardinals versus the 49ers for the second time in 3 weeks? Are you kidding me? NFL scheduling team? The schedules for every team this season have been really weird. I don't like it. I don't like. But here you go. Cardinals versus 49ers 2.0 for the second time in 3 games. The 49ers coming off a really well-fought game, but a tough loss. The Cardinals actually doing the same. Really good game for them, but a tough loss. And if you didn't see it, I couldn't put it in my plays of the week. But here you go. I love this play call. I'm talking over it as I play it. But the flea flicker punt trick play by Cliff Kingsbury, or the special teams coordinator, whoever drew it up, is an absolute genius, because that was a fun and awesome play right there. Props to you, bud, for creating it and calling it. That was a fun play right there. Almost won the game, but did not get to pull it out. The 49ers are still one of the top teams, if not the top team in the NFL, and I do think they show it again here. I think they beat the Cardinals for the second time in 3 weeks. No team should play each other 2 times in 3 weeks. Are you kidding me? Unless it's an unfortunate week 17, you play somebody and then you have to play them again in the playoffs. That's the only case. Come on, NFL scheduling crew. Anyway, 49ers win 31-24 over the Cardinals. Again, it's going to be a close one. It should be a close one, like it was 2 weeks ago on Thursday night. That was a really good game. I think it is again here, but I do think, as was before 2 weeks ago, the 49ers pull it out. Alright, next up, the Bengals versus the Raiders. The Raiders are red hot. The red hot Raiders just win, baby, and they've just been winning, baby. John Gruden, again, props to him. I didn't think he'd get it done, but he's got his team playing at a high level right now. The thing that I really knocked him on, player personnel moves, thought they were atrocious, dating back to Tampa Bay, and I thought he was doing the same kind of things here. And I think he would do the same things here if he didn't also have Mike Mayock on the team, helping advise him and help pick players, because Mike Mayock, one of the best talent evaluators out there, one of the best player personnel people in the game as an analyst and now as a GM. John Gruden, pretty damn good motivator coach, but terrible player personnel guy. You put them together, you have the perfect marriage. There you go. They're a good match made in heaven, and it's working for the Raiders right now. Like, John Gruden was the one that traded away Khalil Mack, and I don't think they would have got Josh Jacobs, Clelin Ferrell, if it wasn't for Mike Mayock in the draft. It really helped them there. Like, I don't know the actual war room, the draft board for Gruden as opposed to Mayock, but I have a strong feeling those were Mayock guys that John Gruden signed off on, not necessarily Gruden guys. And then also, remember, Mike Mayock was opposed to trading for Antonio Brown. Gruden wanted Antonio Brown big time. We all know how that happened. Anyway, aside from that, the Raiders are playing really good. They got Hunter Renfrow playing really good. Josh Jacobs playing really good. Derek Carr playing really good. Eric Harris, our defensive player of the week, playing really good ball. Carl Joseph on the back end playing really good ball. And then on the other side, the Bengals. I mean, Ryan Finley did solid for his first game ever as a rookie against a tough Ravens team. But, I mean, that game did not go well. That game did not go well on either side. Any of the 3 sides. And here, I think the Raiders just ride their momentum. I think the Bengals, again, stay winless this week. I think the Raiders win 28-13 over the Bengals. I think Derek Carr can have himself a good day. I think Josh Jacobs improves on his Offensive Rookie of the Year performance and status. I think he keeps it going. Maybe I'm going to call about like 124 rushing yards, along with, we'll say 2 TDs on the day. I think he does a really good job. And then on defense, I don't know if Eric Harris can get himself yet another pick this week, but I think he continues having himself a good season. Carl Joseph, of course. Clelin Ferrell might have himself a good day against a banged up, beat up, and bad O-line. This might be Clelin Ferrell's best game of the season right here. We will see, but there you go. I think the Raiders pull it out. All right, the Super Bowl matchup. We've got the Patriots versus the Eagles. Ooh, this should be a good one. Tom Brady came out and said publicly that he's still not over the loss against the Eagles, and he's looking for revenge. The Eagles, without Nick Foles, might find it a little tough to win this game. Although Carson Wentz is capable of doing some good things on the field as well. The one thing here is Tom Brady does amazing against bad defensive backcourts, which, you know, if you're going to be a really good quarterback in this league, you have to at least take advantage of bad defensive backcourts. And I think he does here. It's just how well does he do it, and can the Patriots defense stop up the Eagles offense, who is also banged up? I think yes. I think the Patriots overall can whoop up on a Eagles team that is struggling with injuries and struggling at key spots like defensive back and wide receiver and the like. I think the Patriots win 34-21 over the Eagles on the road. I mean, come on. It's not going to probably be a good day for the Eagles. If they win, I will be surprised, but then again, I won't be surprised because, this past week taught me not to be surprised about anything. I mean, just watch the Dolphins beat the Patriots in Foxborough a couple weeks from now. Honestly, after this past week, watching the 1-7 Falcons beat the 7-1 Saints, nothing's gonna surprise me this season. But yeah, the Patriots win here. Alright, Sunday Night Football. This would have been a great game last year, and it was actually a good game last year when they did face each other, I believe, on Sunday Night Football. But here, the Bears versus the Rams. I mean, if the Rams want to keep in playoff contention, they gotta win here. Bears the same. But both season outlooks are not looking good, not looking bright. The Bears are going to be on the road here. The Rams coming off a tough loss on the road to the Steelers this past week. The Bears coming off a good win at home against a Jeff Driscoll-led Lions team, who the Bears actually won, even though Kenny Golladay, of all players, spotted his own damn ball. Can you believe that? The refs let a player spot their own damn ball, and the Lions still lost. And if you didn't see, here's the play. Yeah, like, what? I mean, good on that center, though. He picked up the ball, handed it to the ref, and the ref just spotted it. I mean, that was smart by the center. It was a crazy play. Anyway, the Bears ended up winning anyway, and here, I think the Bears win. I think the Bears win 20-14 in a close one. I think that defense steps up and stops Jared Goff. The Rams don't have a running game right now, which is weird to say with Darrell Henderson and Todd Gurley in the backfield. How could they not have a running game? They don't, and it's been hurting them offensively all season long. Their defense, I know, has Jalen Ramsey, Eric Weddle, and Aaron Donald and the like, but I don't know. Something's telling me Bears win on the road. I'm going to trust my gut this week. Bears go into Los Angeles. Los Angeles has been a place where teams can come in and win, and I think the Bears do it here. Bears win. All right, Monday Night Football, everybody. Are you excited? Are you ready? It's going to be in Mexico City if their field, and this is a big if their field is ready. I'm sure the NFL has sent people and staff to make sure the field is ready this time. Last time it wasn't ready before the best Monday Night Football game in NFL history, the Chiefs vs. Rams last year. Here it's going to be the Chiefs vs. Chargers in Mexico City. This should be a pretty damn good game, and a game in which will help determine how the rest of this AFC West season will go. The Raiders are peaking up there, and the Chiefs are kind of faltering, but can Andy Reid get them back on track, and Patrick Mahomes put the team on his back and get it going? Can the defense step up? Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, Travis Ward, can they step up along with Frank Clark and get it done? Only time will tell, but here I think the Chiefs win over the Chargers in Mexico City 28-14 in a hard-fought battle, one which is going to be a really interesting one for both sides of the defense and offense for both teams. I mean, the weak spot for the Chargers is probably their offense. The definite weak spot for the Chiefs is the defense. So the weak against the weak, and then the strong Chargers defense against the strong Chiefs offense, strong against strong. So that's going to make for interesting matchups there. The big thing is Frank Clark and Chris Jones on the line against the Chargers offensive line is going to be, oh boy. Oh boy, if Chris Jones and Frank Clark don't have a good day, I'm going to be kind of disappointed in them, and I think they do. I think Chris Jones gets 2 to 3 sacks. So 2.5 sacks. I think Chris Jones gets on Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers plays a good safe game this game. I don't think he throws maybe one pick, but I don't think he really throws any this game. I think he plays it safe and ultimately too safe. The Chargers lose in Mexico City. Alright everybody, that's going to be the episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Comment anything down below that you would like. There's going to be a copy and paste in the description. Copy that and paste it in the comments with who you think will win, the score if you want to do that. Feel free to pick alongside me, pick against me, however you want to view it down in the comments. But that being said, hopefully this week is a lot better. Hopefully this week goes a lot better for us, because 2-13 is just absolutely atrocious. I cannot believe it, but I blame it on the week, not my picks. I was just not meant to have good luck or something during the pick'em. Anyway, that being said, I love you guys, appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, I'm Buddy Strange. This is StrangeVoodooTV. Keep it strange, everybody. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.